AT&T Fiber. It's all anyone wants in an apartment.
It could be the dawn of a new era in gun manufacturing. Starting as soon as Wednesday, people will be able to use 3D printers to make their own weapons and weapon parts. No background check required. This after the government settled a lawsuit last month with the nonprofit group Defense Distributed that will allow the posting of 3D printable gun plans online, a move that's triggering a debate about public safety and national security. The group's founder, Cody Wilson, has built a website where people will be able to download plans for a handgun he dubs the Liberator, as well as digital files for a complete Beretta M9 handgun and other firearms. Wilson's legal battle began after he posted handgun blueprints online in 2013, leading to a demand from the State Department to take them down because they could violate a law regulating the export of defense materials, services, and technical data like blueprints. Wilson explained his goal in a 2013 interview.
I'm printing guns, one, as an exercise in, experimentalism. Can you print a gun? But really, for me, it's important as like a symbolic political statement.
He described a future in which people could access unregulated guns.
In this future, people will be able to make guns for themselves. That was already true, but now it's been demonstrated in yet another technology.
The June 29th settlement will also allow Wilson's site to post online plans for an AR-15 lower receiver, a key component of the gun. Gun control advocates fear these firearms, made almost entirely of plastic, would be untraceable and impossible to regulate. The co-president of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence says these hard-to-detect guns would be a national security threat, making it easier for terrorists and people who can't pass criminal background checks to get their hands on dangerous weapons, adding, "I think everybody in America ought to be terrified about that." But experts like Lawrence Keene, senior vice president for the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the firearm industry's trade association, say 3D printed guns would have to include metal components to function, and because federal law requires it.
Federal law since the mid-1980s under the Undetectable Firearms Act requires a certain amount of metals so they are not undetectable and can't go through metal detectors undetected, or X-ray machines.
Even with those metal components, the guns would not work well.
The truth is that they don't. Many times they fail after a single shot being fired. They break. They're not very durable, and they really don't work.
He said the sort of high-end printer that would be needed to make a gun costs as much as $250,000. And the resulting weapon's unreliability means the country is unlikely to see a rush of people trying to print their own guns. New York Senator Chuck Schumer expressed similar concerns back in 2013.
A felon, a terrorist, can make a gun in the comfort of their home, not even leaving their home, and do terrible damage with it. And so the question is what we do about it.
Last week, he demanded the State Department and the Department of Justice reverse the decision or postpone finalizing it, and said that if they don't, he would use emergency congressional actions to block ghost gun websites.
So, we're here to sound the alarm. We're here to plead with the administration not to allow these types of websites to go forward, which they're planning to on August 1st. And we're here to say we'll pass legislation, do our best to pass it, if such a website is allowed.
Athena Jones, CNN, New York.
Hey guys, it's Nicole here back on this Monday afternoon. I hope you guys are all doing good out there. And welcome back to Nicole's View. So you saw that CNN news clip, and yes, you heard correctly. On Wednesday, you will be able to print out 3D guns, okay? Now you have to have this crazy expensive printer to do it. Most people won't be able to just do this, at least now, but it's already in process. It's already in the works until, maybe something happens and they bring this down. But just so you know, this is what is going on in your country. And when we talk about the war and what's going on with us, this is what's going on. All right. So now you're going to have more chaos. You're going to have folks doing whatever they have to do, even if they can't get their hands on a real gun. These are the ones that are available. Who knows? It may be to your benefit, but this is what is going on. I had never even heard of this until like last week. All right. And I wanted to speak on it. So for those of you who don't know, you do know. All right. So this is CNN, and they're saying more than 1,000 people have already downloaded plans to 3D print an AR-15. Okay. Under a court settlement, People aren't supposed to be able to legally download plans for 3D printed guns until Wednesday. But because designs for the guns have already been posted online, by Sunday more than 1,000 people had already downloaded plans to print an AR-15 style semi-automatic assault rifle, according to the Office of Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro. Shapiro has been fighting to keep 3D printed guns out of Pennsylvania. At an emergency hearing held over the phone Sunday, the Attorney General's office asked a judge for a restraining order that will block a website run by guns rights group Defense Distributed from being accessible in Pennsylvania. The group site allows people to download plans to make 3D guns. At the hearing, Defense Distributed agreed to block Pennsylvania IP addresses for a few days until a more formal hearing could be held. Josh Blackman, a lawyer for Defense Distributed, told CNN Monday that more than 1,000 AR-15 gun plans have been downloaded, but wouldn't confirm Shapiro's claim that they were only downloaded since Friday. I can only imagine which group this is. We already know. This is a free speech case. This isn't a gun case, said Blackman. Okay. Who challenged Pennsylvania's efforts to block the downloads. One state cannot censor the speech of a citizen in another state. Pennsylvania isn't the only state trying to bar access to 3D printed guns. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson announced Monday he is leading a lawsuit in 8 states and the District of Columbia to block a court action that would let people download plans for untraceable 3D printed weapons. This lawsuit is being filed in federal court in Seattle. The controversy. These latest battles flared after Defense Distributed, a Texas-based group right here, where I'm at, reached a settlement in June with the government that will allow it to post 3D printable gun plans online, According to the settlement, the plan wasn't supposed to be online until Wednesday, but Shapiro said that Defense Distributed put them out over the weekend. The settlement ends a multi-year legal battle that started when Defense Distributor founder Cody Wilson, as you saw in the news clip, posted designs for a 3D printed handgun he called the Liberator in 2013. The single-shot pistol was made almost entirely out of ABS plastic, the same material Lego bricks are made from, and could be made on a 3D printer. I had no idea this existed. Yeah, late to the party, but it's better late than never. This is what's going on in your country right now. The State Department told Wilson to take down the plan, saying it violated the International Traffic in Arms regulations, which regulate the export of defense materials, services, and technical data. In essence, officials said someone in another country, a country the U.S. doesn't sell weapons to, could download the material and make their own gun. Wilson complied, but said the files had already been downloaded 1 million times. He sued the federal government in 2015. And get this, folks, the settlement says that Wilson and Defense Distributed can publish plans, files, and 3D drawings in any form and exempts them from the export restrictions. The government also agreed to pay almost $40,000 of Wilson's legal fees and to refund some registration fees. So not only did they pay him, they even refunded. This is amazing. Some of the registration fees. Amazing. The guns. Do-it-yourself firearms like the Liberator have been nicknamed ghost guns because they don't have a serial number or serial numbers and are untraceable. Crazy, folks. This is crazy. On the website run by Defense Distributed, people can download plans for building the Liberator, as well as files for an AR-15 lower receiver, a complete Beretta M9 handgun, and other firearms. Users also will be able to share their own designs for guns, magazines, and other accessories. The site on Monday showed more than 12,000 downloads of 7 different models of guns. The high-end 3D printers needed to make such weapons cost thousands of dollars and may be too expensive for most people. In the clip, I believe they said a 3D printer like this would cost like $250,000. So this is what we're talking about. But that doesn't erase the concerns of those who think 3D printed guns are a really bad idea. Excuse me. 3D printed guns will make it easier for terrorists and people who are too dangerous to pass criminal background checks to get their hands on guns, said Avery Gardner, the co-president of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf said he was stepping in where the federal government had failed to protect his state's citizens. The great threat of untraceable guns in the hands of unknown owners is too daunting to stand by and not take action, Wolf said. Attorney General Shapiro and I will fight to protect Pennsylvania families and children. The federal government has abdicated its responsibility to keep our citizens safe, but we will not be deterred from working to ensure Pennsylvania safety laws are followed and our residents are protected from these dangerous weapons getting in the wrong hands. Okay, so that is the article for that. Kind of a mouthful, but you guys, I'm sure, get the premise of this. So this is a go come Wednesday. How does this make you feel? Do you think it's a fair playing field now? So for folks who want to, don't want to have to deal with going through background checks and all that, you think it'll be easier, Do you think this is just a disaster waiting to happen? This is just going to make these devils go even crazier? Because we all know who we all know the demographic who's going to be flocking to this. All right. So, there's so many questions to this, but as you saw in that news clip, the guy at the end, I should have wrote down his name or remembered his name. He basically said that these 3D printing guns, they're faulty. They're not worth a damn at the moment. You can only maybe get one shot or two if you're lucky. So it's something that I guarantee you guys, if they let this be a way you can do this, make it a law, they'll improve it. They will improve it. I guarantee you they'll make it cheaper. It's just only a matter of time. So just be aware, this is what is going on. I had no clue this existed, all right, until I saw it in my news feed. So yeah, there you go. More guns being made in America. I tell you, this country. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.